Hello guys, welcome back to Rogue TCG. This is Brent. Um so sorry for the shaky camera. My tripod for some reason is not sitting right today and it keeps flopping all over the place. So we'll try to keep the shake to a minimum. Anyways, we're going to do a quick Drytron deck profile for Nephthys the Sacred Flame, which you see right here. This guy will come out at full power almost first turn every time in this deck with 4,800 attack, unable to be destroyed by battle, unable to be destroyed by card effect, and untargetable by card effects. Still can be handled by some cards, but it is infinitely hard to get around. So without further ado, we're going to hop into the deck profile. The first card we have is going to be our Drytron Zetas. Sorry about that. Drytron Zeta is your search for your ritual spell with the Drytrons. If you're not familiar with how Drytrons work, they all have the same effect. They can be special summoned from the hand or graveyard by attributing one Drytron monster or one ritual monster from your hand or field. And then they get their effects once per turn. So, with him being your search for your ritual spells, the next step would be to get your search for any ritual monster you'll need, which is exactly what Alpha will do. Drytron Alpha will search any ritual monster in your deck, as long as you special summon it by the way I just mentioned. He is probably the second best Drytron in this deck. You then have this guy, Drytron Delta, which we use for if you don't draw the greatest hand in the world, he will let you reveal one ritual spell or one ritual monster from your hand to draw another card. So it is essentially just a +1. And then we have the last Drytron we run in the monsters, which is Drytron Gamma. Gamma will special summon one Drytron from the graveyard when it is special summoned in its proper way, I guess is how we'll say it. But that is all of our Drytron monsters. We then run a little Nephthys engine that I run on my own. It's not really too much in the effect monster way of things, but we get into more with the rituals. We have Disciple of Nephthys, which lets us destroy one card in our hand, which will help proc this baby, which is the next card we put in there if we have it. Little micro plan in case things go haywire. But anyways, that will let you search one Nephthys monster from your deck and add it to your hand. Our main ritual monster is Conductor of Nephthys, because she will then ritual summon another ritual Nephthys monster out of the deck. So, as I mentioned, we then have Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. When this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it back the next standby phase, and it wipes all spells and traps off your opponent's side. Sorry, off the entire field, not your opponent's side. But anyways, for the last of our effect monsters, we're going to throw in Manju of the 10,000 Hands, just a generic search for any ritual monsters or any ritual spells. Essentially, any missing piece of the puzzle that you don't have. So now we'll get into our ritual monsters, where we run 2 Conductor of Nephthys. As I mentioned, with Conductor of Nephthys, as long as you ritual summon her, she will ritual summon another Nephthys ritual monster from the deck. We have exactly 4 targets for this in this deck, and with the Drytron ritual spell, we'll be able to ritual summon her out of the graveyard. So, our next monster is 2 Devotee of Nephthys, which, again, just a target for Conductor. Nothing too major, any special reason why it's in here, other than the fact that it is a Nephthys ritual monster. And then 2 Cerulean Sacred Phoenixes. He can get a search off by destroying a Nephthys a Nephthys card in your hand. He will be able to search your level 8. I do believe. All right. I was mistaken there. Sorry about that. I was thinking of the ritual monster or the link monster. That is my bad. You can destroy Nephthys cards in your hand and or face up on the field and destroy an equal number of monsters your opponent controls. So a little bit of a control card. My bad for getting those mixed up. Then as far as in Drytron ritual monsters, we run 2 Medionis Drachnids. He's just there for a little bit of extra help if your opponent gets some plays off or hard to beat over monsters. He's 4,000, and he has an effect that during your opponent's turn you can banish cards from your graveyard whose attacks equal exactly 2,000 or 4,000, and then send to the graveyard 1 monster for every 2,000 attack of monsters you've banished. Then there is Cyber Angel Ben 10. This card is great in this deck, as it is a ritual monster, and you tribute it, and it gets another search off for a fairy light monster. So, I should have said light fairy. So Cyber Angel can search herself, Cyber Angel Ben 10, and she can also search Manju if you have a dud hand, and she can also summon Natasha. Natasha is in this deck because we have the 2 Ben 10s in there. Cyber Angel Natasha is also great because with Medionis Drytron, the ritual spell for the deck, you can target 1 Drytron on the field, make it lose 1,000 attack. They all have 2,000 to begin with. She has 1,000, so it works perfect with the Drytrons. Absolutely perfectly with the Drytrons. That is it for monsters. She also has an effect, where you'll be able to banish Cyber Angel Ben 10 to target a monster your opponent controls when Natasha's in the graveyard. And then you can take control of that monster, and then if you do, you can summon her back to the field from the graveyard. So, bonus little awesome micro strategy there on the end. Then we'll get into the last 3 Drytron spells of the deck, which will be Drytron, or Medionis Drytron. Sorry, it's up a bit high. This card is your ritual spell. You'll need it left and right. This will get your conductor out with 1 one Nephthys monster, and it will then be able to come back to your hand with the use of another, and then also summon Natasha if you do things correctly. Almost the first time every single turn, this is a possible play. As I said before with the boss monster, you need 3 rituals to get him out at max power. So, set that off to the side. Then we have 2 Drytron Fafnirs, which is a field spell. It will add 1 Drytron spell or trap to your hand. Just, again, another way to move things forward. And on top of that, it interrupts your opponent's Xyz and Synchro plays. When a monster is normal or special summoned during either player's turn, once per turn, you can target that monster and make it lose 1 level per 1,000 attack that it has. So great for interrupting stuff. I've used it against Virtual World, and it did me a lot of good. Next is Drytron Nova. A very expensive card. It's like $42 at the moment of recording this video. It special summons a Drytron from the deck and then destroys it at the end phase, which is no problem because you can use it as tribute to bring out another Drytron to get its effect, and then you can use that Drytron to bring out whatever Drytron you summon from the deck from the graveyard to get its effect. So that is it for the Drytron spells. Now we have 2 generic spells here. One is Cyber Emergency, due to the fact that all of the Drytrons are light machine monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set. So very useful. This will search any Drytron card in the deck. Any Drytron monster, let me clarify there. And your last generic search is Foolish Burial, because you can ritual summon from the graveyard and all the Drytrons get their effects off in the graveyard. So it doesn't matter what monster you have in the graveyard, as long as you can get your ritual spell and most of the stuff you need, this Foolish Burial will send anything else that you are missing from the deck to the graveyard, and you will still be able to fully use that card. That is it for the deck itself. Now we just have the extra deck where we run, sorry for my placeholders here, 3 Nephthys the Sacred Flame. Like I said, I have 2 placeholders here. I've actually been waiting over a month for the other 2 copies of this card to come in, and they are still not here. So I figured I'd rather just do the profile with some placeholders. So nonetheless, like I said, 4,800 attack when you tribute 3 ritual monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle, cannot be destroyed by card effect, and cannot be targeted by card effects, which I don't know if this camera will zoom in. There you go. So for every ritual monster you use, you get one of these effects. And once you hit 3, you get all 3 of these beautiful effects. And it makes this guy a pretty untouchable monster. It is still targetable. Oh, sorry, not targetable. It is still handleable by things like Trishula and a few other cards out there. And then last but not least, this guy is just kind of a way to search out our Sacred Flame of Nephthys, sorry. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm so sorry. Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. So this card will basically, when you link summon it during the main phase, you can either add a level 8 winged beast monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can add 1 ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. So if you need to recycle a ritual spell, you can drop this, and we have that search for Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. Sorry, I get them so confused. They all have Sacred Nephthys in their names. It's very hard to keep track. But also, you can destroy 1 Nephthys monster this card points to. Special summon 1 Nephthys monster with a different original name from your graveyard. But its effects are negated. Anyways, this card is a last resort. You know, if things just aren't going right, you need something to do, this is your card. I've never had to use it, but it's there just in case. So with that being said, that is our entire deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm sorry for the quality of the video. Again, I'm using my webcam and my tripod's really fucking shaky today. So, without further ado, I will end this video and end your suffering. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining my wonderful prank kids. We love you guys so much. If you could do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, also hit the like button. That would be great.